Sorry, Joey. Damn it, I had it saved.
Welcome back, everybody, to another night of racing. Tonight we're headed to Oxford for another round of Helping Hands Whelen Modified. We are back, 1 week off. Florida was great. Really happy to be back up here in the booth for these boys as we watch qualifying go underway. P1 right now, Gage Bennett just snagged the lead from Stephen Harlow with a 14.65. Harlow currently at a 14.69. Trowbridge also out here repping his lap times. He's going to take that top position at 14.58 as he finishes up and goes and mows some of the grass. But while these guys get their cars all ready for tonight's race, just want to say I'm Shane Morris. I'll be taking you through all the action tonight. here on Motorsports Media. And a huge thank you again to Helping Hands Contractors for their support of this series. Without the sponsors stepping up and supporting sim racing out here for the Giggity Racing League as well, broadcasts and events like this simply just do not happen. Well, really appreciate you guys out there. And now tonight's race is going to be super just awesome. This track is everybody's favorite, as you can tell. A lot of people weren't too happy to go ahead and pack up their trailers and head out here. This qualifying is underway. Let's go ahead here and let's just look at the... Are we live? We gotta make sure we're live. We're out here tonight at Oxford Plains Raceway. It's gonna be a whole whopping 76 degrees out there tonight, so track temps are gonna go ahead and become a factor in tonight's race. And it's just clear skies with 7-mile-an-hour wind. And again, thank you for joining us here at Motorsports Media. Now, before we go ahead here and we get this underway, I'm just verifying rather quickly. I do not think we're going to be having any heats tonight, as there is only 9 racers with tonight's event. As I said, not too bad, but a lot of people weren't too excited to pack up the trailers and head out. There are quite a few that I'm not seeing out here, but who I am seeing out here is Stephen Harlow, Tim Trowbridge, and Andrew Plummer. All 3 of these guys racked the top 3 positions of the championship in points thus far with the Giggity Racing League Summer Showdown. So, as we get ready for everybody to go ahead and get their qualifying laps underway, what's going on here? We are in inspection here with Gage Bennett. Stephen Harlow, he is going to go ahead and snag that P1 position. He's running a 14.42. It's going to be our pole starter this evening. And right behind him is Gage Bennett. He's off the track as of now. He's going to go ahead and grab a corn dog or something before tonight's event. But Trowbridge not too far behind him. These guys are really, really close in time. Like, super duper close. Like Harlow, you can see there, he's got a 14.4. And the Trowbridge is 0.032 seconds right behind him now, and then threw Bennett back by about 0.092. I mean, look at all these times for even all 3 of them, all within like 0.5 seconds. It's going to be a tight race tonight. Hopefully we're going to stay green. Hopefully we're going to stay clean. All right. Well, as everybody goes ahead here and gets ready, watch Trowbridge right there. I'm a little confused. It's interesting. Give me 1 second. We're going to go ahead and refresh this. That's actually super interesting. Interesting. Technical difficulties. At least we're able to get this fixed up before the event. So let's go ahead and just refresh the cache of that. That's exactly what we needed. All right, guys. So I guess we are going to go ahead and do a heat. We're going to be a 5 and 4. Heat 1 is going to consist of Gage Bennett. We're going to go in chopper. It's such a small track here. Gage Bennett's going to be here in the P1 position. Then you got Stephen Harlow. Why did I say P1? Stephen Harlow, P1. Gage Bennett, P2. Jack Mansler, not too far behind him in the P3. Austin Garrett is going to be in P4. And then P5 is Austin O'Keefe, getting ready to go ahead and run this up for 5 laps for our first heat of the evening. Now, I've only been blessed to drive these cars maybe once or twice. I'll tell you this, the throttle is very attractive, and these things will slide out from underneath you like you're driving on ice. So I know tires are going to be a factor here tonight. Everybody's got to be very easy on that throttle. As we watch the pace car head off the track, and we're green for the first heat of the evening. Stephen Harlow just going to go ahead and launch it away. He's got 33. Jack Manser not too far off behind him, though, battling it out for second with Gage Bennett. Really interested to see this battle here. Gonna go ahead and snag it. And Jack Manser is going to shove him to the outside a little bit. These guys need to understand that this is just the first heat, not even main event. This is going to be an exciting race tonight. And we got Gage Bennett's going to secure that P2 position. It does look like Manser does dig pretty deep on those turns and slides up. We're going to be watching him tonight. Hopefully he doesn't do that too much. Takes this heat round, figure out what he needs to do. Stephen Harlow securing P1. 7 laps to go. Has led 3 laps thus far. Let's go ahead here, and Mr. Bennett's going to secure that. Jack Manser, he's slowly falling back here. He's going to look like he's going to be giving up his 3rd place position to Austin Garrett here shortly. Unless Austin Garrett goes ahead and... Oh, he's staying smooth on the outside. I feel like Jack Manser's just digging a little too deep on that inside there, and it's really hurting him right now. Falling back. Do apologize about that. Looks like our overlay is just having a little bit of a difficulty today. Jack Manser's going to be falling back down to the 4th position. Stephen Harlow, he does got Gage Bennett sneaking up on his back bumper there a little bit. He's about 0.4 seconds off. Go ahead and hop on board with our leader here, Stephen Harlow, for the last 2 laps here. All right, Stephen Harlow, final lap here, taking it really easy here, holding that line as he goes ahead and secures P1 of the first heat of the evening. It's going to be your first place holder of Heat 1. Congratulations, Harlow. It's the little wins in life, even though he's the champion so far of the entirety of this series. Not the Whelen series, just short track series that we'll be running here at Giggity Racing League every Thursday night. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead here and we're going to get all warmed up for the second heat of the evening, which is going to consist of 4 drivers. And who's going to be leading them off is going to be Mr. Trowbridge. He's going to be in the P1 starting position here as we go ahead and we get the chopper right back out there. It's going to be starting off in P1. Right behind him is going to be Mr. Case here in the 01 vehicle, and then Andrew Plummer not too far behind him. Andrew Plummer is definitely going to be one to watch tonight. Did have the pleasure of speaking with him before we did climb up in the booth, and he is not taken kind to this track. He said it's not going to be a good race. He's just here so he can get some points. But one to watch right there, Andrew Plummer, P3 of the entire series in position of points. And then we got Joey Brewer out here in the P4 position out of Madison, North Carolina. So as these gentlemen go ahead and get ready to start, take their 2 pace laps, I do want to go ahead and just make another special thank you to Helping Hands Contractors for their support in this series. Super awesome there. Trowbridge just waiting for the pace car. He's ready to race. He's about to race the pace car. Interesting strategy. I do like the old 1 paint scheme of the Old Spice. That looks super awesome. If you guys see that of Mr. Case here. Let's see. It's very clean. One more lap around. Pace car will be leaving these boys, so they can go ahead and complete their 10 laps that they have to go underway for the second heat of the evening. Can Trowbridge hang on to it and lead all 10 laps, just like Stephen Harlow did? Pace car getting ready to disembark here. And we are going to go ahead and be green. As we go ahead and watch these boys take on 10 laps. Trowbridge right out the gate. Not behind him. Right behind him. Plummer. As we've been saying, he's been having a difficult time here this evening. But it looks like he's locking in. This is going to be his golden hours. He's looking a lot better from what we were seeing during practice. Really launched it out of turn 3 there. Into 4. Definitely one to watch here tonight. I do apologize, I just hit the wrong key there, but these guys, I'm just super excited to see what all this is going to bring, because this is going to be a fantastic race. This is not the most easiest track to run. It's sensational. And I did forget my paperwork as I climbed up in the booth here. Not too sure what the main event, how many laps we're going to be running here this evening. I'll have to take another look at that. And Plummer is definitely going to be securing that P2 position, as we have Trowbridge on his line, taking his time. Haven't really seen many position takes here. Everybody's been pretty consistent. Joey Brewer, he took it to the pits there. That's what he did. There might be a fight for second place here with Case and Andrew Plummer. The 01 car in 98. Can Plummer hang on to it here? Final lap. Is Plummer going to be patient, or is Case going to steal it from him? And it looks like Plummer does take P2 for the second heat of the evening. Awesome racing out there. So as we go ahead here and we watch all these drivers get all lined up for the main event tonight, I do want to talk about a few things here. The biggest story entering in tonight is at the very top of the standings. As you've heard previously, we've been having a pretty crazy fight with Stephen Harlow and Tim Trowbridge. So I do want to say this. That is a 1-point separation between these two right now. At this stage, you can basically throw the points calculator away. If you're Harlow, you know exactly where that car is. And if you're Trowbridge, same thing. They're going to be out there looking out for each other as they do 75 laps. So every position is going to matter here. Every incident, every mistake for these two. And it's just the numbers between these two. Stephen Harlow's got 150 points. He's got 2 wins, 4 poles, 5 podiums, and 5 top 5 finishes, and 66 laps led total. And Trowbridge, he's got 149 points, 1 win, 1 pole, and 5 podiums, and 5 top 5 finishes. He's got 96 laps led. Now, between these two, I'm super excited to see what happens. Now, both drivers have finished inside the top 5 several times, including 5 for 5s. And that just tells you how consistently these guys have been running, staying consistent, and keeping themselves out of the mishaps that we have experienced on several occasions throughout the past few weeks. Now, Thomas Frisch, don't see Thomas Frisch out there still. He's still another wild card. He's only got one counted start, and so the championship position doesn't really tell the story. But in that one start, he's got one win, one podium, and one top 5 and 65 laps led.
Just a reminder, it is a short
He
track.
also
Things are very,
had 0 incidents there.
sensitive, so
If Frisch was to be on the field tonight,
try to have some
we'd
fun.
watch him.
All right.
He's got it parked again. He's one of the fellas that didn't pack up his trailer. But we're going to go ahead here. We're about to go green as we watch the battle between Trowbridge and Stephen Harlow just blast off. These two drivers are going to be, already contact. Not even into turn 3. Not even done with lap 1. They're just drag racing it out here. We got Austin. Not Austin. I'm sorry. Gage Bennett. He's going to be in the P3 position with Andrew Plummer right behind him as well. Plummer, looks like there's some contact.
Yellow flag is out.
Andrew Plummer.
sorry, Plum, I hit the curb.
Austin Garrett, as you can see, apologizing for that contact there. Not the start that Plummer was expecting here this evening. Let's go ahead and take a look back here and see what happened with this incident. So as you can see, let's go ahead and see if we can get a little bit better of a... Let's go above view. That's good. So as you can see here, Plummer's on the outside. It's got Garrett right below him. And Garrett said he did hit the curb, but we'll see. I know we got to go a little bit farther. So let's go here where the incident actually happened. Let's go chopper view. We're going to stop right here. I don't know. It doesn't look like he hit much. It just slid up into him a little bit and sent Plummer on a slide. And it looks like not much contact between anybody. It was just a one slide out. And you got the 24 car of Austin O'Keefe. Gets a little bit of front end contact there with Plummer. That's not what you like to see. He should have went to the outside, but it's hard to judge. Hard to judge whenever you're sitting in the captain's seat. Well, Stephen Harlow, I think Plummer, he's going to sit in the pits and get his repairs done. Okay, so Harlow and Trowbridge, they're going to be out here. We're going to watch one more pace lap before we go green, and we'll be underway. Pace car is off. We are green.
Green flag.
Stephen Harlow ripping that P1 position. So I have noticed these aggressive starts, it'll definitely slow you down. As big as these tires are, they're going to wear out just as fast. Not much help that any of these guys are going to get from anybody as well. It's short track racing here. Patience is going to be key for this evening. So, the biggest thing I'm watching right now is who's looking comfortable versus who's already having to fight for that race car and fighting the race car. So these two up here, Harlow and Trowbridge, they seem to be calmed down, in control, staying on their line, being patient, being consistent. We did see a little bit of contact with Garrett and Plummer. I'm going to say that's a one-off. Hopefully we stay green the majority of this race here. But you'll see some drivers attack the corner and others roll the center. It gives us another run and start figuring out which approach is working for each other. As we watch Trowbridge get into a little bit of contact behind Harlow, saying, hey, I'm right behind you, man. We're going to start racing yet or what? As they're almost 10 laps in, Harlow will lead another lap. He's going to go ahead here. It looks like Trowbridge is almost getting on the outside of Harlow. Might go underneath him here. Just watching this, I feel like Trowbridge is just sensing that there's a pass that's going to be able to come here soon, and he's He's being patient, ready to attack it. I'm betting that Trowbridge will go ahead here and he'll attack that inside on Harlow after maybe 12 laps or more here. Watching him stay consistent on the inside. He'll start sliding up though. He's blocking on that outside a little bit there, it looks like. Or is Trowbridge going to attack that outside? Looks like he might get some help from the number 56 car of Bennett here on the inside. Harlow on the outside, running it wide. I know these guys do not want to run them too wide, or else they're going to start trees grading them tires. Trowbridge a little bit loose. Now having to battle it out for third position. Well, second position here. A little bit of contact with Gage Bennett back here. As we watch the 01 car and the Old Spice pop up into Mr. Case, he's going to be up here in the top 4. A little squirrely situation from Trowbridge. Really gave Harlow a bit of a gap. Can Harlow keep that gap going? We'll see. We'll see. I do want to go ahead here and see what we got going on back here a little bit. So Andrew Plummer, he is out of the pits and he is back on the road. He's going to be in the 6th place position here. The 56 car, it looks like Mr. Case behind him in the 01 car. He might be sneaking up for a pass as well. Everybody's been pretty consistent. Haven't seen any position gains in the past 5 laps. Everybody's just staying consistent and trying to get these cars to survive as long as they possibly can here tonight. So Austin O'Keefe entered tonight in the 7th in points with 114. And Jeff Gillen and Jack Manser are tied at 108. And Sam Peckett is also out there, and he's sitting in 10th at 104 with Kevin Tattersall as well. Now those two, they're not in tonight's race tonight, but still, always want to mention these guys. They put in a lot of work on the board. Now, I do want to go ahead and say a good night can move somebody several positions. A bad night can do exactly the same thing. You can move several positions down. Hopefully that's not the case for anybody. It looked like it was going to be a rough start out there for Andrew Plummer, but he's recouped. He's back in P6, and he seems to be doing just fine out there as well, staying consistent, holding his line. And then I know we looked at Joey Brewer in the 062 car. He may have been involved in that incident earlier, but he's out. I don't see any. Maybe he just parked it. I didn't see any incident with Mr. Brewer here. He just parked it. He said he's had enough tonight. We got a little bit of battle going on up here for second, it looks. How many times are we going to switch that camera? Holy. Tim Trowbridge still secure in second. Gage Bennett starting to stack up here for P4, though. Looks like we got that 24 car of Austin. Sorry, not. Is that Austin Garrett in the 24 car? Who's in that 24 car? That's Austin O'Keefe. Sorry, not Garrett. Flung himself up there and dropped it right back down just as fast as he made it up there. We're 30 laps down out of 75 here. Trowbridge needs to get the win over Harlow today. I want to see Trowbridge on top of that point board. These guys are... This is consistent racing. This is nice. This is refreshing. Not much contact. Means not many yellows. But what's going to happen in regards of their strategy if there's not going to be any yellows? I know these guys are hanging on of tires that are 33 laps down on them now. Pretty exciting to see how they handle this. I wonder if we're going to have any green flag pit stops here by lap 40 or so. I know these tires could probably last maybe 50, but if you're pushing them pretty hard. We've already watched Trowbridge get a little squirrely, so as we watch him get squirrely again, we're talking about the tires. As I said, these things are like boats on ice, man. But overall, these guys are staying pretty consistent out here. Go ahead and we get an eye on Mr. Case. He's going to be back here in the P4 position. Gage Bennett, he's going to be in P3. Starting to assume it might be pretty hard to make an overtake here on this track. There, a little bit of contact with the curb with Trowbridge right there. Oh, not any trouble in paradise. Saw that happen though. A little bit more contact. A little squirrely there. Hang on to the boat, Trowbridge. You got this, buddy. You got the 56 car of Gage Bennett looking to that inside. And you got Austin O'Keefe here. I do apologize. That's going to be Jack Manser in the 33 car. Looks like they're going to be going ahead here and driving around him. Very courteous driving by Mr. Manser there. Staying on the outside and letting these top three fight it out. So as we stay green for 41 laps now of consecutive racing, minor hiccup there in the first lap. These guys are absolutely killing it out there. I'm hoping to see Gage Bennett dive it in on Trowbridge, as much as I hate saying that, but I want to see something. A little bit of a love tap maybe there into turn 4. Stephen Harlow, again, out there on his Sunday drive. Seems like he's staying pretty consistent with that line. He's been running some pretty consecutive lap times as well. I mean, his best is a 14.5 and his last was a 14.7 too. And Trowbridge not that far behind him. Everybody's been pretty consistent. That's the word I was looking for. So watch here as we got the 56 of Gage Bennett. He's just trying to figure out the best attacking position here on Trowbridge. Hopefully he's not going to dig in too deep and get squirrely himself, but because I keep seeing him watching on that outside and then he watches on the inside. As we go ahead and we have 29 laps to go here tonight. I do believe this might be our closest battle we have here. These Jack Manser and Austin O'Keefe, a couple laps down here. Positioning's been pretty consistent. Trowbridge needing to dig pretty deep here as he's got a pretty big gap, about 0.7 seconds behind Harlow. We need to have some tire inspection with Harlow. Haven't seen one squirrely incident from him. He's been running that inside line very consistently. He's just got that rhythm. He's got that line. Out here killing it. As we go ahead, we have a little bit of contact with Gage Bennett. I mean, Trowbridge taking the inside of Trowbridge. Can he do this? Does. He succeeds. He takes second place from Trowbridge for the time being. Can he hang on to it, though? Get around him up on that curb a little bit. Trowbridge consistently slowing down right now. He's got the 01 of Mr. Case behind him and that Old Spice mobile. P2 is going to be Gage Bennett here for the remaining 22 laps to go. Can he catch up to Stephen Harlow? Looks like he's digging pretty deep here. He's starting to get a gap of Trowbridge. Tagging it by himself here. Can Trowbridge hang on to it for that P3 position as he's going to be fighting it out with Mr. Case here in that 01? These guys are all so close. See how Trowbridge is having to manhandle this wheel out of turn 4. Gets a little bit loose. You can hear the tires there. He wants to dig it deep out of turn 4, but he just can't. Turn 3 and 4 is definitely... Hang on to her, buddy. It's Harlow. Look at the difference between these two. You can hear the difference in acceleration between these guys. Stephen Harlow, 16 laps to go. So look at the line that he's racing in comparison to Trowbridge out here. They look pretty dang similar. It looks like Trowbridge eats that inside of 1 a little tighter than Harlow is, and that might be where Harlow's getting his speed from. And Trowbridge is really sucking on the inside. You can see Harlow just glides right through turn 1 into turn 2. It looks like we might be having a battle out here for P3 with Trowbridge now, as we are going to be watching a drag race between him and Mr. Case. Mr. Case gets slammed onto the outside, staying consistent with it. Not too far behind him is going to be Austin Garrett in that 213 car. More outside contact for Trowbridge. Mr. Case really wants that P3 position. Is he going to go ahead and sneak his way through in the final last 10 laps here as they go ahead and they start finishing up lap 11 with 11 laps to go. 10 laps to go now officially as we watch Trowbridge hang on to P3 and Harlow just eating his way another chicken dinner. Winner. Can't say that though. Something can possibly happen. Gage Bennett could sneak up on him at any moment here. One tiny mistake can send him into P9. Or I guess P6, since O'Keefe's a lap down and the 2 other cars. Mansers went and parked it. Jack Manser went off track here. Let's take a look back at that. Let's go ahead and take his peek here. The dirt got a hold of him. I've been watching that turn 1 has been taking a lot of these guys' momentum and sucking them out there. 6 laps to go. Stephen Harlow in the lead. Gage Bennett is going to be securing that P2 position at this time. And you got Trowbridge fighting for 3rd with Mr. Case here in that 01. I will say this, though. Mr. Case, I don't know how many races he's raced in. I'm going to pull this up on my clipboard here. I think he might be a bit newer here. with the Giggity Racing League. This might be his first race out here with us. So welcome in, sir. Heck of a job. Get that P3 position. I think it is safe to say that this is his debut. Two laps to go here. Stephen Harlow securing his lead by about almost a whole second ahead of Gage Bennett here. And we got Trowbridge not too far behind him as we have our final lap. Will Trowbridge secures P3 as we watch Gage Bennett take P2. Stephen Harlow is going to be our race winner here tonight. And Trowbridge does secure P3. Right behind him is going to be Mr. Case. And then we have Austin Garrett in P5. Andrew Plummer in P6. What a race from these guys here tonight. What a fantastic race for Stephen Harlow as well here. That was such a fantastic race.
Yeah, good race there, Roger. I hope you know I wasn't trying to do anything specific.
We're going to go ahead here and we're going to get them up here in the booth for an interview. What a little short session we had here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
These guys. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead here. Let's get Mr. Harlow up into the booth here tonight. We got Trowbridge. He's going to go ahead and take that P3 position. It looks like everybody might be just packing it up. No interviews here tonight. Perfectly fine. Well, you have it here. Stephen Harlow, first place winner here tonight at Hickory. It's been an outstanding race that we've had here today. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys. I feel like it was a very short race. Usually we're here chatting for longer. But what a night here at Oxford. I don't know why I said wherever else. Another race in the books for the Helping Hands Whelen Modified. And once again, these drivers put on a show. A huge thank you to Helping Hands Contractors for supporting this series, and to the Giggity Racing League for putting everything together, and of course, to all of you watching here tonight. If you've enjoyed the broadcast, make sure you hit a like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you pop into Motorsports Media. It helps us continue growing these broadcasts and bringing you more racing. Congratulations once again to tonight's winner, Stephen Harlow. And then for everyone involved with tonight's race event, I'm Shane Morris with Motorsports Media, and thank you for spending your evening with us. Until next time, we'll see you guys at the racetrack.